Yo, what's going on? Yeah, this is the last episode of the whole game, which also means that this is one of the most important episodes in the game as well. Because, well, every story needs to nail two things, right? That being the opening and the ending. Since you need to get people's attention at the start. Yeah, and yeah, you need to get people's attention, and you want them to stick around. And you want and also you want people to feel that the whole story meant something, and don't leave it on a bad note. If that makes sense. Now saying that, there were some things that happened that I was expecting and kind of knew was going to happen, but overall it was a good ending to the game overall. But I kind of did expect what happened. Now I know that it is a multiple choice game and there's multiple endings, but hear me out a bit, right? A lot of games that have multiple endings tend to have quite bad ones at times, right? They just don't feel right, if that makes sense, half the time. I don't think this game has a terrible ending, but there were times when I was like, yeah, I knew this was gonna happen, even when it did feel out of my control. But yeah, I feel like I feel like that's the problem with any choice-based game is that it is very easy to call what happens at the end. Like honestly, like even with this game, like a few episodes or ago, I kind of called what happened, and even like with other choice-based games, you can you can see what's going to happen like a few episodes or a few hours before it happens. And yeah, I don't exactly think it's too different here. Like, yeah, like I knew what the two outcomes were gonna be at the end by the end of episode three. Like at that point, I kind of knew what was gonna happen. Like, yeah, I knew what was gonna happen. Like, that's not exactly a bad thing, but it was just a bit predictable. That's all. Now, saying that, the episode started off straight after the end of episode four. You get back to your old ship to try and find members of your old crew with one of the pirates that thinks you're on their side or whatever. The first person you find is Rayan. It's either Rayan or Ryan. I can never remember how to pronounce half these people's names, so I'm sorry. If you remember him, he's the twin that actually saved you. He's the one that gave you the helmet at the end of episode three. The pirate that you're with knocks him to the ground, well, knocks him down, pins him to the floor, right, and tells Drummer, who's your character, to kill him. And yeah, it gives you that choice. Now, straight away, I said I'm not killing him. I said on stream, I said, yeah, I'm not doing that. I don't want to kill this guy. I don't want to kill the guy that saved us at the end of episode 3. I don't want to do that. So yeah, we do get the choice to whether we want to kill or save him, or well, kill him or fight the pirate. Yeah, obviously I chose to fight the pirate, which it did lead to him the pirate to run away to get back up. But you then take Rayan to is it Virgil? Who is the medic of the crew to help out Rayan, right? Rayan, or again, I'm gonna call it call him Rayan. Yeah, Virgil is happy that you're alive and okay. Right, he's happy that you're back essentially. You end up talking to him for a bit, and you find out about a little bit about his past, and you find out he was involved in this really, really bad massacre, right? And yeah, Drummer gets very, very angry at him. Also about the whole thing, the fact that he was involved in it, really. But again, yeah, talking it through, you find out that he was only really a medic. He didn't kill anyone, but it was just helping out people and even, well, try to help out the people, other victims of the whole thing. He was trying to help out. But yeah, after you're done talking to Virgil, you end up, you got to find some of the others. You end up running into Khan, who's been fighting some pirates, right? Again, she's happy to see that you're okay and all, but you don't exactly get a lot of time to talk to her there's more pirates on their way. So you fight them off. You pretty much get them all, but unfortunately, one comes out of nowhere and ends up shooting Khan. Obviously, the pirate got shot as well, and he didn't make it out of that. But obviously, Khan's injured now, so you try to get to Virgil to get her help, and yeah, she doesn't. He doesn't end up making it, which absolutely sucks. But again, it's not really much I could have done about it because it was like in the middle of a cutscene, so we actually got shot. I don't really know what I could have done. There wasn't exactly anything I could have done at the time. I mean, but yeah. After that, Drummer goes to find Arlen, who is the other twin that betrayed you. Yeah, basically to settle the score, really. You find him at the same place as Cox, which is the old captain, and you end up arguing with Arlen, and then basically start fighting. Like he ends up pinning you against the door that Cox is locked behind. So yeah, Drummer ends up opening it, and Cox ends up helping out Drummer, then runs off. Right, I think my phone just went off, so sorry if it did. You two keep fighting until the pirates that had you captive show up with their leader. Arlen tries to buy his freedom with the MK core that he had on him, and tried to get him to kill Drummer, right? Which didn't exactly work, and it ended up getting him killed in the process. I think he was one of the only ones where I noticed that he, no matter what, either way he would have died. So there's nothing I could have done, quite literally nothing I could have done differently then. Their leader tried to talk the Drummer into joining them to make sure to work with them. Again, doesn't work. Then suddenly a voice starts talking over the ship's intercom, right? It turns out to be the other person that was held captive by the pirates. Remember, we made a whole deal with her at the end of the last episode? She somehow took out the rest of the pirates on their own ship. God knows how, but she did. And yeah, it's trying to tell Drummer that her crew, that Drummer's crew is on that ship, and that she's ready to blow up the ship that Drummer is currently on to kind of get rid of the rest of them, basically. Obviously their leader isn't too happy about that, and yeah, and guess what? Them two start fighting. Drummer and their leader start fighting. It ends up going into the, what do you call it? The thing that can what do you call it? That thing that can inject you into space. I keep forgetting what it's called. I could never remember what it's called, but you see it in every like sci-fi movie set in space. And yeah, there's one like room where like the doors open to space. I can't know what it's called. But yeah, Drummer ends up getting a helmet. They don't. The door gets opened into space. Drummer lives. Their leader dies, basically. Um, the ship gets destroyed with the MK core still inside it. Obviously, with Drummers left the ship at that point. Obviously, but yeah, that's kind of, but after that, 3 weeks, I think it's 3 weeks have passed. You and the rest of the crew are still on that ship. You get a message from a guy called Johnson, who has some history with Drummer since the last time Drummer saw him. She had a gun to his head apparently. But yeah, again, that is something that you don't like. You don't really know much more about. But yeah, he's contacting her to try and work with her and telling her where he's based. Obviously, but obviously he wants to get in contact so they can well, join teams basically. And yeah, the whole game basically ends here with Drummer well agreeing to it and then telling the ship they are going to his location. Now, the first thing I want to say is that this is the shortest episode by far. It only took me around 40 minutes, give or take, to complete. You got to bear in mind the others did take me around an hour to an hour and a half, so in comparison, it's quite short. The game is also based on a TV show as well. I'm assuming it's set in the same universe. Well, I'm guessing. Well, let's say yeah, say it's canon. So it's also a show I had no idea existed. Jesus, until I played the game. So I've not seen a single episode of the show. So I'm guessing there's a lot of context I've missed since I haven't seen it. And yeah, I feel like it's quite apparent in a lot of what happens. I feel I probably would think a lot differently if I had seen the show. To be fair, but I wanted to complete the game before I watched the show, since there's no point getting two separate stories from the same IP at the same time. But overall, I didn't like. Yeah, I think overall it is a decent game. Like I've had a lot of fun playing through it, and but yeah, I did get the feeling that I should have known a lot more about the IP than I actually did, or well do. But it is what it is. I still had fun playing it. I don't think it's not gonna. I don't think it's like the best game I've ever played. I don't think it's. I wouldn't put it in my top 5 games of the year. But you know what? It's a solid fucking game. It is a solid game overall. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. So yeah, if you made it this far, obviously like, subscribe, and all the same things you hear every other YouTuber say. And yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.